Although Governor Leon Guerrero's executive order suspending in-person instruction has no exact date for when it will be lifted, the Guam Department of Education is preparing for the reopening of schools, whether it be in full return, in scheduled cohorts, or hybrid. Guam DOE Superintendent John Fernandez stated during an input session Friday amongst faculty and staff that the governor is prioritizing the return of face-to-face instruction as soon as it's safe to do so. He also pointed out that how students will return to classes will be up to the department. In the meantime, GDOE is working on a plan for the ultimate reopening of in-person instruction. GDOE has three options for reopening. Option 1 is the full return where all registered students for in-person learning will return to their classrooms physically, which will maximize instructional time for students. In order for that return, the community risk level must be low and schools must commit to mitigation of the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The second option would be in the scheduled cohorts, which means half the school population attends classes rotating each day with the other half of the student population. The benefits of this option is they will lower the number of students on the campuses and will phase in the approach to full return of in-person learning. However, it reduces instructional time for students.
That way we can lower the numbers who are on campus and we can ensure and monitor this, that it's safe to continue operating before we further expand to full 5 day instruction. Of course, that's going to be a challenge for us. And I know members of the board are thinking about the impact that this will also have on instructional time. But, it's something that we can consider as a phased in approach.
And there is the hybrid option, which means some students will return to in-person learning while others are phased in.
This is something that we just need to discuss in more detail. And this would involve looking at opportunities for certain categories or sections of the population being able to return for full face-to-face instruction, while others, go into a cohort or a phased-in approach. So one example of that might be, if we have the secondary school students or high school students, and we can demonstrate that they have a high vaccination rate because they've taken advantage of the vaccination drives that we've been supporting, then there might be a consideration that we allow for the high school students to return for face-to-face instruction, while maybe the younger students we take a different approach.
As we reported, both public and private schools in-person instruction was suspended through an executive order by the governor due to the rise of COVID-19 cases on the island. There's still no timeline for when some 28,000 students are expected to return to face-to-face learning at all 41 GDOE public schools, according to Fernandez. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan.